connection and everything is straight today. I think we might well cut the music. We can go ahead and get started today, man. Shoot. Unless you want to hear the music. No, I'm gonna cut it. Boom, we can go ahead and get started. Y'all want me to cut the music? Here we go. I'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, there we go. I mean, these are some good fights, so we got to talk, man. Yeah. All right. Marcus Bell, what's going on? Lolita. Hey, hold on. What's getting? Oh, Robert Henry said, "Don't cut the music." Nah, I'll cut the music, man. We go get started, yo. I don't know. Let me. Yeah, it is bumping though, right? Lolita, Robert Henry, what's up, man? Oh man, we gotta talk, man. These are some good fights, man. I ain't gonna lie though, the Casey O'Neill versus Laura Procopio fight, I didn't really feel confident in that pick because I was like, both of these ladies are on the same level. Good fight though. Like I said, when these fights are hard to predict, that's when I know a fight's gonna be good. I really can say when it's 50-50 and I can't pick, I gotta say, oh, I don't know. But then the fight usually turns out to be good. And I can't get mad at my pick not winning. I'm not betting. But yeah, y'all, welcome back to another CB99 live stream. We can go ahead and get it going. Good fights. Not like last weekend, but this fight here with Casey O'Neill, it was much better than her showing against Shanna Dobson. That TKO last time out against Shanna Dobson still had me asking a lot of questions. Of course, with this fight, I'm still asking some questions. I think Casey O'Neill still, has a lot of work to do, but she went in there and showed some nice groundwork this time around, good pressure. Laura Procopio, I just had to go off of her experience that I've seen in her last fights. I think throughout her wins, she's shown much more. To me, she's shown more technique. That's why I had to go with Procopio. I think in this fight here, she showed a good game plan, a good technique against Casey. But I think we can all agree. Well, this is how I feel for sure. But I think Procopio gassed out. I think she blew her load in that first round. I think Casey was much more balanced out with her pressure. She was much more just game to kind of build up to what she was getting to. She let Laura Procopio come on strong in the first round. And, I mean, Laura Procopio did some good work, but she just wasn't balancing out her game plan. Like, she wasn't really finding her rhythm. You don't really come into a fight in the first round and just blow your wad like that. You just don't go in there and give away everything. Like, she started off nicely, but when I went back and looked at it, I was like, she clinched up 4 times with Casey O'Neill. She clinched up 4 times and won those exchanges, but that's a lot of work in the first round. I mean, if you're not stopping the fighter, you need to balance yourself out. You got to go in there and, balance it out. So, to me, it just came down to her gas tank. I think she just emptied out her gas tank, and then Casey O'Neill came on strong, started landing her leg kicks, started landing her punches. I mean, she came in that second round and just laying like a good combination and knocked Procopio back. And then when it went to the ground, she was just using her weight and using her ground game, which was crazy, man. Like, yeah, I thought that the much more polished jiu-jitsu practitioner and Procopio would have been able to handle that, but she was just not in it. Like, when it got to that second round, like, she was getting handled. Like, she was getting out grappled, which was crazy. That was just crazy, man. He said, Robert, he said you don't think Casey would have won, especially by finish. Yeah, I didn't either, because I didn't think she had the power or the strength to hurt her, but she did it. Yeah, Marcus, that's what I was saying. Like, Procopio got a black belt. That's why it surprised me. I was like, it's got to be the fact that she was out of gas, because her being a black belt, well, I don't know where she got the black belt from though. Her being a black belt though, I thought she would have been able to handle these positions that she was getting put in. She was almost like in this like type of crucifix from the back, where Casey O'Neill had the back and she locked the legs up and she couldn't get away. And she was almost like huffing and puffing at that point, like she was just done. Robert Henry said, I think those shots to the body speed up. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I'm actually uploading my post-fight video for this one right now, and I brought that up. I'm uploading the post-fight now, and I brought that up in it. The elbows, like when she got her in side control, no, she was like in half guard. Like when she was in the half guard on top, she was dropping elbows on her bread basket. I mean, the elbows were coming hard on the bread basket. So I was like, okay, that's what's gassing her out. Yeah, when you put that in there and the fact that she just came out strong in the first round, I was like, okay, she's got to slow it down. Because Casey O'Neill, I'm going to give Casey O'Neill like credit. Like, she didn't look very intimidating with the power, like with the punches, but she doesn't stop. She doesn't stop. She's kind of like Felicia Spencer, with that energy where she keeps coming. She wants to fight. Ernest Richardson, what's up? Ernest said they hand out black belts like candy. That's what they say, man. Around my way, I've talked to a few people, and I've talked to one guy, a trainer of mine way back, and we always talk about this when we meet. It's always like some places will pass out black belts or whatever degree belt. They'll pass it out or they'll move you up. But he said when you go to a real, dojo for jiu-jitsu, he's like, they'll expose you. They will expose you, or they'll question your black belt. They'll ask you where you got it from. And if they tell you, oh, so-and-so gave me this black belt, then they already know that your belt is fake, if that makes sense, So, yeah, I've talked to some people about it. Yeah, so they do be handing them out like that, man. But I'm not saying in her case it was, not saying in Procopio's case her belt's fake at all, but I'm saying like some places do, I just kind of factor in the fact that she was gassed out more so. Hang on one second. Let me check some stuff here. All right, let's see. Hang on one second. I got to check this connection. It's acting up. All right, that thing is good. I just had to restart something. So, All right, what are y'all talking about? Let's see. Robert Harry said, I'll say it again. Just because you have a black belt don't mean you have the right degree, especially in MMA. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Robert Henry. I mean, you can't expect to be this pound for pound champion in mixed martial arts just because you have a black belt. You know, you got to know how to apply the black belt to mixed martial arts. You know, black belt and BJJ, that's one thing. I mean, it's a plus to have it, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be some type of like superstar, you know? Yo, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee said, rear naked choke, that's how you really put someone to sleep without killing them. Yeah. Yeah. Two beasts. Two beasts. I feel as though belts should have one universal authority to dictate who gets them. Yeah, I think so too, man. Or either that, have like several people that's in charge. You know, have several people that's like in charge of the same way it should be judged. If that makes sense. You know, I think that would work better. You know, if you had like a committee, basically, if you had like a committee, like the WBC belt, WBA belt, they all are part of one committee for who has the belts. You know, one sanctioning body type deal. I know what you mean. Yeah, that would make more sense. But yeah, going back to the fight real quick though. Yeah, Laura Procopio, first round, she did have a good leg kick going. You know, she was landing her leg kick, landing her left hand, and she was doing some good damage. You know, she was doing good, effective. She just overall applied a good stand-up game in the first round. It was just too much, I think. You know, too much clinching and too much work, which should have been balanced out. And that's what I'm always talking about. Like, the better, you ever notice, like, the better fighters in the game, you know, the champions, they all have, like, a pace to how they fight. You know, if you look at Amanda Nunes, you look at Valentina Shevchenko, even, you know, if you look at, you know, John Jones, all of these fighters like Usman, they all have, like, a certain pace to how they fight. There's a rhythm to it. You know, you just can't come out and blast everything out and give everything you got in one round. You know, you got to work. You got to work a little. You got to take a break. You got to go on the back foot. You got to chill out. You know. And there go TJ talking that crazy talk. You know, I ought to just block him just to. I'm gonna time him out just to play around. I mean, what he said don't even make sense. I mean, anyways, but yeah, like, this is what you need to see from a growing fighter in Casey O'Neill. Like, last time out, I wasn't impressed with the stoppage, with the ground and pound, but hey, she got it. You know, this time around, she fought a good pace. Still needs to work on her defense. You know, she still got to work on the defense, still got to work on her striking. But what she did as far as using her weight and her ground game, it worked. It worked. So I would give her Jillian Robertson, actually. You know, I would actually give her Jillian Robertson. I think Jillian Robertson is actually a little bit better, you know. And what TJ's saying, that's how, when he says crazy stuff like that, that's how I think fans, they get it mixed up. Like, he doesn't understand levels. Like, when you look at levels, like, there's the top, there's that first tier, that second tier, and that third tier. Like, Casey O'Neill is on that unranked tier. So, in no way you can say she's ready for anything. Like, I don't know who said she was ready, but, well, I haven't uploaded my video yet, but when you hear my video, I will say that Casey O'Neill needs to fight Jillian Robertson next, because that's how you graduate. You know, because I don't know what we're saying she's not ready for, because we know that she just came into the UFC. You know, like two wins, two wins over Shannon Dobson and over Lord Procopio. In no way are we saying she's ready for anything. Like, I know I'm not. I don't know who did, but yeah, like, no, like, she's graduating from the level she's on. Like Miranda Maverick, she's graduated. You know, she's beat the unranked fighters. She beat the Jillian Robertson. Now she's in the top 15. So she's where she needs to be, right? Casey O'Neill, she's got two wins over unranked fighters, so she hasn't graduated yet. So she's ready for where she needs to be, but not ready for prime time. So TJ, you must have been in some other chats or something. You must be in some other videos, because we don't push people. We don't overhype people over here. I know he's just talking crazy, but I just got to show my level. You know me. I just gotta let you know where I stand sometimes. So Marcus Bell said, "Yeah, Casey hasn't graduated from that bottom tier, therefore it's too early to tell." Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody's saying that she's ready for whatever. Exactly. That's how it should be. Yeah, 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 Mr. Lee. It's harder to get a blue wrench in here than it is a black belt. Yeah, yeah. I don't pass them out. Like, if I was in charge of the black belts like I am the wrenches, I ain't passing them out like that. No, sir. Yeah. Yeah, but there's always like levels to a game. Like the level Casey O'Neill was on tonight or last night, you want to see a fighter get that type of win, you know. But when you see holes, it's time to say, look, this is what we got to work on. We got to work on this. We got to work on that. You know, we never, well, my channel, we never try to overhype fighters like that. Never. Like, I don't see the potential, which I talked about in the other episode we did the other day. I don't ever talk about potential like that, you know, with her. I think they do hype her up a little bit more, because even if y'all hear Michael Bisping, like, you hear the commentators, like, they were giving Casey O'Neill too much credit for some of the stuff she was doing. Like, Laura Procopio was landing good punches, and they weren't really talking about hers. Like, Laura Procopio was landing the good shots, and they would never, like, there was some times in there where they never even called it. Like, she snapped Casey O'Neill's head back with a good shot. You know, she got her head snapped back with a good shot, and they didn't even really call that punch. Like, I was like, yo, like, Laura Procopio was doing good. Like, they weren't really giving her credit for the stuff that she was landing. You know. But yeah, that's the fight. That's the fight that she needs right now. Is like, to prove where she's at, you got to fight somebody like on your level. A Jillian Robertson fight makes sense for you. That's why I said in my video. Matter of fact, let me upload this thing while we talking. But yeah, there's tiers to the there's tiers to the game. You know, there's tiers to the flyweight division. There's tiers to the strawweight division. Nothing changes. You know, it's like school. You know what I mean? You got your smartest first grader. You got your smartest second grader. You know, you got your smartest eighth grader. But your first grader, he's not ready for that next level. He's smart on his level, but he's got to graduate. He's got to go through everything like all the other students did. You know, some will advance more because he might be too smart for where he's at. You know what I mean? So every now and then you do see young kids graduate that fast because that's how gifted they are. Same way in MMA, you'll see gifted fighters need to be tested early because they look so much more promising. But no, Casey O'Neill doesn't look like a Manon Firo yet to me. You know, she doesn't look like what Manon Firo's bringing to the table. Where when you see him with that skill set, you automatically say, I got to test this person. We got to put him in there with the best right now, you know? But yeah, like that's what it's all about, man. It's all about, just saying, look, calling it real. But she did good though, man. She did good. She did good in my opinion for this level, but I'm not saying it's great level. Not at all. I already told y'all the three to watch out for. Y'all see the picture. Those are the three prospects to watch for in the game. Y'all see the picture. But yo, let's talk this strawweight fight. I gotta break it down for y'all here, man. Why I felt like the fight was gonna go this way, and how my pick was pretty much right. I gotta say, I told y'all this fight would go this way. Because for one, everything that adds up in a fight like this spells finish. So, Jandiroba versus Kanako Murata. Oh man. Like I said, with these two, there's just too much. There's just too much explosiveness in this fight. There's too many holes in both fighters' game. There's a lot of recklessness in this fight where I knew somebody was gonna get submitted or somebody was gonna get finished. So when I went back and looked at it, like when I did my live stream with y'all the other day, I was like, man, I can't pick. Let me see. But when I just broke it down to like who's much more polished and who has a better hand game, I was like, I gotta go with Jandiroba in this fight. I think Verna's gonna get it by submission. I mean, technically we could say that Verna got it by armbar, right? Technically we could say she's got it by armbar because Jandiroba, she did. Why you always, Mr. Lee? Why you put those spaces in the Kanako Murata? I was just reading Mr. Lee's. Why you always write it like that? Kanako Murata. Anyways, Kanako Murata, I knew that she was gonna go in this fight and take that same type of reckless approach. And somebody like Jandiroba, she was gonna be much more polished in there. She was gonna be much more polished on the striking, on the feet. I don't think that people give Jandiroba enough credit for her hand game. They just saw Kanako Murata, go in there a few times with her hands in some of her early fights, and they automatically thought she was the best with her striking. But I said Murata needs a lot of work. I still say she needed a lot of work. Like, she has the energy, she has the strength, but there's still a lot of holes in there. And I saw them holes when I watched that. I keep forgetting it was Randa Marcos fight, another fight before she was in the UFC, and another fight with Emily Ducote. I keep bringing that fight up. Yeah, Emily Ducote. That was the one fight where I said, if she gets put in there with a much more polished striker, Murata was gonna get stopped, or she's gonna get pieced up. Because Kanako Murata is a good wrestler, but she still doesn't have some of the things that even a Carla Esparza has. Like Carla Esparza, when she shoots in for angles, it's much more unpredictable. She's coming in at different angles. She's been working on her striking game. She steps in and out, side to side. Very, very, very good movement from Carla Esparza. I don't think we give her enough credit for that. So once again, Carla Esparza, her stock kind of goes up because she beat Jandiroba, right? And she beat her on the ground. Kanako gives you the illusion that she's moving at angles, but she's really darting straight in. Kanako Murata, she's just darting straight in. And if you have a good straight right hand or you have a good straight jab, you will knock her back. You're gonna knock her back. And that was my key to victory for Verna Jandiroba, the overhand right, and it worked. Good overhand right, really dictated the pace. Uh, she buzzed her in that first round, knocked her back in the first round, caught her like 3 or 4 times in that round, and I could already see that Verna was going to be much more comfortable here because even before the injury, Murata was not coming straight in. Like she was not switching levels. She wasn't taking a great deal of chances, So when Verna, she punches her way into a clinch, Murata, she starts to get off a few good knees, gets taken down when Verna pulls guard, goes on her back, and this is where I'm like, here it goes. I was like, here it goes. She's in that guard and she's getting reckless. That's something her team hasn't really been going over. Like when she's in like a guard with somebody that is this high level of a jiu-jitsu, it was like, why are they not preparing her for this type of stuff? So Verna goes for that first arm bar. She survives that one. But the second one, she locked that second arm bar in, and I thought it was over, but Murata, she has that much heart and that much strength to hold on. But when she makes that little turn, when Verna Jandiroba makes that little turn, it goes back to her back and she spins with the arm, I was like, I know some damage is done. You could see it on Murata's face. I was like, some damage was done. She's just not going to let it be known. So when that arm gets twisted, there's a point, too. If y'all go back and look at the fight, look when there's like 5 seconds left in the fight. There's 5 seconds left in the fight. If you look at the angle of where Verna Jandiroba, she grabs the wrist of Murata, and Murata kind of like leans forward, you can kind of see her elbow kind of bend inward. Like, I don't know if that's where it got damaged or the damage was already done, so that's why it was so like rubbery, and it was just like flexible where it could just move in and bend inward. Like, go back and look at that at the end of the first round. Like, you'll see her arm bend in. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, snap. I was like, her arm is done. I was like, her arm is jacked. So, and that came just from like I said, that reckless approach, man. You can't go in there and think you can always just like pull your arm free from an arm bar. She's pulling the opposite direction. They're trying to, fight that position. And, Verna Jandiroba, like I said, she knows how to maneuver you. She knows how to maneuver. So you're not getting out. And if you get out, some damage is going to be done. Let's see. I don't think I got that picture up here, do I? Let me see. Yeah, I don't have that angle put up here. But if you go back and look at that first round, 5 seconds left. Let's see. Marcus Bell said Verna did some damage when she got a hold. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, Kanako's eye was swollen, man. Robot Chickens, what's up? He said, Happy Father's Day to all. Don't let Wick take care of your kids better than you. Yeah, Happy Father's Day to everybody that is a father. I'm not, so no. Yeah, man. Let me pull this picture. Yeah, I don't have that angle. I didn't snap that shot at the angle. But yeah, go back and look when there's like 5 seconds left in the fight, man. If you go back and look at that, I was like, yo, her arm is done. And then you can see here, like by the elbow, her arm was just, it was useless. Then going into the second round, I mean, her arm stayed down by her hip the whole time. It stayed down low. There was nothing she could do. There was nothing left for her to do. I mean, except wait until the round was done. She was on her bike the whole time. Verna was just coming in, landing like you see here, head kick here, right hand there, blasting her back with combinations, and just really doing a good job of staying on her. Like Vernon never really went crazy and tried to go in for, the big finish, because Murata could still be dangerous, with her knees. She did try for like a flying knee at one point. She still could be dangerous. So she just kept piecing her up and just taking her apart. And, she made it out the second round. But yeah, that arm stays so low. Like, I don't understand. Like, what do y'all think? Like, why was the referee not calling this? Like, why was the referee not, stepping in and saying, something don't look right? Because I saw it from the jump. Like, second round, I was like, what's going on? Like, her arm is not lifting up here. Why is she hurt that bad? I was like, why is the referee letting this go on? Like, it wasn't going to work, though. Like, so why was he just letting her continue? Because you're just going to take a beating like this. If you can't protect one half of your body, you got to step in, whether they like it or not. It may not be a cut on the eye. It may not be a broken nose or broken jaw. Hell, fighters still fight through broken jaws all the time. But my thing was, like, you obviously see her arm hanging this low, and she's kind of like on her back foot trying to survive. Why is the referee not stepping in, right? So I got to give Murata credit, because she's not going to stop the fight. She's not going to stop it. She's going to keep going. But I thought it should have been on the referee to say, I got to stop. We can't go on. You might really get hurt. But finally, when that second round came, they stopped the fight. It was for the best, because it was kind of grotesque looking at how she was on her back foot like this and just seeing the damage done to that arm, But yeah, that was my thing going into this fight, though, is that overall Murata, physically, she's got the physical strength, she's got the athleticism, but still lacks that IQ of like a Carla Esparza. That's why I say, even before this fight, Carla Esparza, she's a much, much smarter fighter and even a bit of a better striker than Kanako Murata. That's why I said that, because she's not going to dart straight in. And if she does, it's going to be unpredictable. She's a little bit more offbeat. Verna Jandiroba, way better striker than Kanako Murata. That's why I said going into, I just feel like she's much more fluid, and she knows her range. She knows how to use that reach. I still feel like she beat Mackenzie Dern in that fight, because she was just overall showcasing some nice footwork. She looks better on her feet than Mackenzie Dern. She's much more comfortable. I think she committed to her punches more in this fight. That's why she was able to do the damage that she done. But I think that I think she's going to get better and better just by what she was able to do in this fight and what we saw. But yeah, man, let me check y'all in the comment section here. Robot Chick said, I think Casey beats Jillian. She's more hungry and aggressive. Yeah. It's possible. I think it still needs to be seen, though. It's a fight that needs to be seen, in my opinion. It's actually 50-50 to me. That's why it needs to be seen. If it's something I can't call, then if it doesn't seem like a mismatch, it's gonna be hard to call. So, but like I said, I don't know if y'all got the fight playing now. I gotta look at it right now as we talk, though, man, because her elbow bent in, like 5 seconds left. It kind of bent in, and you could see, like, it's not supposed to bend that way. Her elbow was supposed to bend that way. So she took that damage here, from the armbar, and then like more pressure was put on it. I think it was really dislocated badly. Yeah, man. Let's see. Murata should have never had to take that much damage. MMA is much less this type of fight than boxing. Yeah, that's the problem with MMA versus boxing. Like, I don't, even as a growing MMA, I used to, as a growing MMA fan, like years ago, and I still feel the same. Like, I don't like when a fighter gets knocked down in MMA and then they let you just continue to hammer fist the person's head and they're out. Like I don't like that. Like in boxing, you knock somebody out with one punch and they go down. That's it. If you rock them on the cage, on the ropes, hit them a couple times, the referee he'll step in. Especially if you're out. But like when you fall and you're out cold, they should automatically just stop the fight instead of letting you take like a whole bunch of hammer fists. I don't understand that. That's one thing I used to never like about MMA. I was like, how are you letting somebody just get pounded on the head and you see that the person's out cold? Like 7 or 8 unnecessary shots. That's, come on. But with this, like I'm saying, like her arm was completely below it was just hanging. There was no need for her to continue to go on. Whether she liked it or not. I mean, that's just going to be a lesson learned for her not to be reckless in the future, right? Because I knew this day was coming. Y'all heard me talk about Murata in her videos before. I was like, she's very reckless when she gets on top or she's in the guard. Like, Emily Ducote put her in like 4 or 5 arm bars, but she was able to break free. So I said, let it be the right person. Let it be the right person next time around, and boom, she's out of there. Which technically with this fight, she was, right? Like, it was kind of an arm bar that beat her. Like, she didn't tap, but she suffered damage from an arm bar. That's why the fight had to be stopped, right? That makes sense. Like, no, she wasn't stopped. She didn't tap. But they had to stop it because of the damage done from the armbar, right? Makes sense. But yeah, man, moving forward from here. Verna Jandiroba. Let me pull up the rankings. I would like to see Verna in there with. Honestly, I think I'd like to see Verna Jandiroba in there with the Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill winner. That would be a good fight. That's another step up for Verna Jandiroba after scoring a big win over a high level promising prospect. Somebody we all felt was gonna come through and destroy some fighters. I feel like a lot of people felt that way about I think a lot of people felt that way about Murata. But let's see. Rankings haven't been updated yet, but Verna at number 13, fighting the winner of Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill would be good. But personally, I would like to see her fight Amanda Ebos. Amanda Ebos versus Verna Jandiroba would be a good fight, or Michelle Waterson would be a good fight for her to push her up the rankings. Michelle Waterson's in the top 10, so that would be a good fight. It's a fight she could probably win to break her in there. But if not, Ebos is a good opponent. Like, if Ebos comes back fully ready and 100%, I think Ebos versus Verna would be good. Honestly, I think that Verna's a little bit sharper on her feet. To me, I think Ebos has a good jab. She has good upper body movement with her strikes. But I think that Verna is a little bit more fluid. Like I said, I think she would be a little bit more fluid in the fight, and it would be much more, I think, effective with her striking and her stand-up. And I know Ebos will avoid the ground at all costs against somebody like Verna. I mean, let's not lie, though, man. Verna Jandiroba is really starting to turn into a complete fighter. She's been working. She's been working hard since the last, that her last fight that she controversially lost against Mackenzie Dern. Even since the Carlos Esparza loss, she's been working hard. She's been getting better. And I think she's near, like, becoming that well-rounded fighter that she needs to be. Let me see here. All right. But let's see here, man. I don't know. Kanako Murata, man. What does she need to do? What does she need to work on? Well, for one, Murata, she's got to slow her pace down a little bit. She's got to slow it down a little bit more. She's got to be, she's got to think. She's got to start to think a little bit more in there and find that medium. Like sometimes she won't take the chance of stepping in. She'll be a little cautious about stepping in. Then sometimes she'll overcommit. She'll overcommit to these takedowns and leave herself in a vulnerable position. And she's got to use more angles. Like Murata doesn't use enough angles. Like she gives you the illusion that she's moving. Hold on real quick. Daggone server's acting up again here. There we go. I always got to restart this thing here. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. So, as I was saying, hold on, there we go. Yeah, so I think Murata, like, again, she gives you that illusion like she's doing a lot. Like her striking is very, very, deadly or very polished. Like she'll step in and out at different angles. I don't see that. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing her step straight in, because if you go back and look again, perfect example, because it's a 5-round fight, is the Emily Ducote fight. Like she didn't use a lot of angles on Emily Ducote. Like Emily Ducote was able to back her up and just hit her straight down the barrel with right hands. She was connecting with some beautiful right hands just down the pipe. Right hands down the pipe, left hands over the top, just putting her back to the fence and just being effective. Like she was really just controlling her. So I'm thinking Murata needs to be in and out, dip under, use her left hook, but she's staying on the outside. She's not committing enough like to her strikes like we think she does. Like Carla spars a wheel, actually. Carla, for a wrestler, I'm comparing the two because, they both fought Verna Jandiroba, and Verna was able to be taken down by Carla because Carla was much more fluid. She's much more unpredictable. She committed, and she was able to use her right hands against Verna and be. She was much more alert too. Yeah, Robert. I think some people don't. Yeah, some people think she doesn't commit enough to the takedowns, but I don't know if it's that. I think it's the fact that she doesn't. To me, it's more so that she can be reckless in the takedowns. Like I think she needs to be a little bit smarter with her takedowns as far as breaking fighters down. She has to use knees. She's got to use elbows. She's got to use good right hands to take a fighter apart. But I think she does commit to takedowns. I think in this fight she wasn't doing that as much because she was worried about the striking. She was worried about the right hands, and for good reason. Verna was tagging her with good right hands. Verna was hitting her. Clean shots, as y'all see here. She was getting hit with some clean shots. So I think one reason, we can also put this in there. Maybe another reason why it looks like she's not committing is the fact that she's not switching it up enough. Maybe she's not switching up her attack enough to get the takedowns, on how she goes in. we go back and look at some of these fights, and she takes some of the same approaches. I mean, she can be, she has a variety, but she'll kind of stick to the same ways of getting fighters down to the ground, But we'll see, man. She's got some work to do, man. She's got to, find the middle ground. You can't overcommit to some of the stuff she's doing. Work on her ground and pound. I feel like look at her ground and pound too, man. Like some of the attacks that she uses is what I'm saying. She's reckless. Like if you look at it closely, like how she attacks when she's in someone's guard, you can climb. You can climb higher and higher with your guard, which sets her up for the armbar. It sets her up for the armbar because the way she'll lay on you and the way she rises so high off of her hips. All you have to do is climb. As soon as you get that guard up, you put the leg over her neck, you grab one of her arms that she's resting on you, and boom, you got her in an armbar. That's why so many fighters get her in an armbar. She's just lucky enough to have that strength and activity to break free. But for the most part, like I said, the better grapplers you come across, like Jandiroba, if you ever meet Mackenzie Dern, if you ever meet Carla Esparza, and so on, you will get submitted if you reach that level. If she ever gets to that level, she will get submitted again like that. So, I mean, hey, the fight might be a blessing in disguise for her. Because let's say if she did get a win, like a controversial close win, they put you in there Mackenzie Dern next, you will lose that arm. I think if Mackenzie Dern took on Murata, she would lose that arm, man, because Mackenzie is not playing. I don't know, man. That's just something her team, they have to kind of work out. They have to get her to slow her pace down, like ball of energy. That's the best way to describe her. But it's reckless at times, man. It can be very reckless. That's why it cost her this fight here. Yeah, you don't want to rest in her guard like that. Like when you rest in it, or you, like I said, you shift, you make your shift so predictable, and you're not like throwing like strikes with your hand. And when you're throwing your whole body into it, Verna Jandiroba is going to be able to climb with her guard. When she climbs with her guard, boom, you're in an armbar, and you're tapping. Shoot, man, that's what I'm saying. Like there's just so many things that you never expect, but in the world of MMA. But like I said, I expected this thing. I expected this scenario to play out like this. Like it was just too much. It was just too much in there. Like Murata's holes in her game. The things I seen her do and get away with other fighters, I knew that she wasn't going to get away with it in this fight. I mean, she survived, but she had to get the fight was stopped, right, because of the arm part from the first round. I mean, yeah, she didn't get submitted, but the damage was done from that arm bar. That's why she was out of there. Okay, here we go. Dern Jandiroba, yes, but please stop with Carla being a submission artist. Oh boy. If anybody gets in their feelings about fighters, it's Jason Rose. I mean, for real. Like, you can't give a fighter their credit whatsoever. Like, even if you don't like a fight, if you don't like a fighter, you can't give them credit. Like, if anybody gets in their feelings, it's this guy right here. You can't give this person credit. Say they're not a submission artist. She would still submit her, because he knows how to capitalize on recklessness. Mackenzie Dern may be better than Carla, right? Mackenzie Dern may be better than Carla when it comes to her jiu-jitsu, but Carla Esparza, she has the IQ to understand if this fighter is in my guard, she will get taken out. See, Jason Rose, you late. We already talked about that. I already said Jandiroba's striking looked better than Mackenzie Dern's. Jandiroba, in my opinion, beat Mackenzie Dern. Jason Rose, you behind. We already talked about that. I already said her striking looked better. Oh, yeah, and that's something I want to talk about. Robot Chicken brought up a good point. I knew that Verna winning this fight, everybody would try to call her, they would try to say that this fight don't count now because she fought an undersized fighter. That's something I don't believe. I disagree with that too. That's not real talk though, Jason. I mean, you got your feelings hurt. Like I saw Jason Rose's comment about me. Who else? Was it BJ coach? You named several people. About Miranda Maverick saying that she's a promising fighter. I know why Jason Rose don't like Miranda Maverick. He don't like her because she called out Valentina Shevchenko. I noticed that, like Jason Rose, his whole demeanor changed about Miranda Maverick whenever she called out Valentina Shevchenko. That really hurt his feelings, y'all. So every time he talks to Miranda Maverick, he talks with hurt feelings because she called out Valentina Shevchenko. But back to what you were saying, Robot Chicken, I disagree with that. Like, how is she undersized? Jessica Andrade is 5'1". Is she undersized? Murata's not undersized. She's got the stature of a strawweight, just like Tisha Torres. She's got the size of a strawweight, just like Tisha Torres does. And Jessica Andrade. They have builds like strawweights. They don't have the height, but they have a build like a strawweight. So I knew that was going to happen too. Like when she beat Murata, I knew people were going to say that she was too small. But no, she's the right size. Murata is a strawweight. I mean, look at her body. She may not be as tall, but she is a strawweight. And it wasn't her height. I mean, it wasn't her size that really put Murata at a disadvantage. It wasn't her height that put her at a disadvantage. It was just the fact that she was reckless in there. Like, everything that Verna Jandiroba used was IQ in there. She used IQ, her smart striking, and her technique. If that would have been any other fighter that was just the same size or maybe even shorter, they would have did the same thing. It all came down to technique. So you can't say it was size. George, what's going on? George said Jason gets thrown under the bus. Yeah, I call him out. Like, he don't like Miranda because she called out Valentina. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to call out the champion. I noticed that ever since then, man, he's just been like, I don't like Miranda. Ever since then, he's just been like, I don't like Miranda because she called out the champion. I noticed that tone change quick now. Now he thinks she's overhyped. And now he talking about Carla can't submit Murata. Come on, man. What fights do you be watching? What fights do you be watching? Robot said, I doubt Verna could do what Dern did to Nunes. Her striking is bad. She couldn't even finish a woman with one arm. Well, it wasn't about trying to go in there and just go crazy and finish. I mean, you comparing two different fighters too. I mean, in my opinion, Verna did beat Mackenzie Dern already. She won that fight, but they gave the decision to Dern. And she can't do what Nunes did with her striking because she's not Nunes. That's why I don't ever compare fighters like that, because you can't. Verna is not Nunes, so she's not going to do her striking like that because she's a different fighter. And technically she did finish her. She did finish her. I mean, she damaged that arm in the first round. It was just a bad call on the referee. Like, the referee should have said, no, like, we can't let you go on. Your arm is damaged. You got finished. So technically she did get finished. But yeah, Murata is a good size strawweight. She just doesn't have the height. She's a good size woman. She just got, like Lolita said, she just got outclassed and outsmarted. Exactly. Who put that woman in that position of one arm? Verna did. Because if you want to think about it too, like, Murata was still dangerous. That's why she didn't go right after her. You see Murata still throwing them high knees. Like, Murata was still trying to throw some knees. And if you let up, if you would have let your guard up, Murata could have got, she could have landed something big with the right hand. She could have landed something big. So Verna, she's playing it safe, but all the while she's still dominant. So yeah, she did finish her. Second round TKO, or we could call it an armbar. Yeah, you're right, Robert. You're right. He would, man. If he could if he could throw them under the bus, he would make sure to put that bus in reverse. Right. All because Miranda Maverick ain't a coward. That's what it all comes down to, because she called out the champion. Because she says she wants to fight the champion, he doesn't like Miranda Maverick. Come on, man. And just because Carla Esparza is beating his favorite fighters, that's why I'm going to start calling Carla Esparza. Carla Esparza's AKA beat your favorite fighter. And that goes for everybody that don't like her. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Carla fan, but I got respect for her because she's beating y'all's favorite fighters. Yep, see? There he go. Oh, wow. BJ need to get him, man. Dang, he said diluted. Hyping her up. Oh, wow. Hey, she's doing her own work. She's doing the work. So I'm just backing a fighter that's doing the work. Like, I ain't got to hype her up. She's got her own, man. Yeah, Colton. Colton, what's up? Colton. I told you, Colton, that picture ain't going nowhere. That picture is there for Jason Rose and anybody hating. You know what I mean? That's why it's there. Colton, that picture ain't going anywhere. It's staying there. It's staying there. Oh, man, hold on. Let me pull it right there. Yeah, there it is. Oh, man, y'all crazy. Jason Rose is like Roxanne. I think Roxanne is Jason Rose's favorite fighter. I think it is. I might be mistaken. What else, man? Yeah. So yeah. Going back to Murata, yeah, she's not she's not undersized. I mean, let's look at her size right now. Like Kanako Murata's a strawweight, man. She's not an atom weight. Same height as Jessica Andrade, got that muscle like Tisha Torres. Tisha Torres, she's not a atom weight. She's just short, and she can't lose that type of muscle. She can't lose that type of muscle, man. I got something for y'all. Hold on, right here. Just a second. Jason Rose said she's got Macy Barber problems. We'll see for how long though. I mean, you might as well say it the other way around. Macy's got Miranda problems because Macy in that situation where she needs a win. Yeah, you see it. Jason Rose mad that somebody wants to fight. That's all. Like he's so used to seeing these people duck. Jason don't want to give Miranda credit. Like Jason's never told me why he doesn't give Miranda credit. I actually did a video the other day. He could take it towards him because I broke it down for you. I broke it down for you why I feel like Miranda Maverick got potential. You say she hype, but tell me why she's hype. See, Jason Rose, he looks for knockouts. That's all he looks for. He looks for quickness and power. He don't look for skill. He don't look for discipline. He don't look for hard work. He don't look at the hard work fighters put in. You know? Jason ain't looking at that type of stuff. That's why he's saying it's hype, because he not taking the time to go back and do history on Miranda and even like Carla Esparza on her grind. How she got back to the position she's in. He ain't taking that time to do that. No, Carla's fighting for that title now, man. No, Carla's got to have that title. Oh, Colton said, what about Tisha versus Angela Hill? I'm going to go with Tisha Colton. I'm going to go with Tisha Torres. I think she's got better with her offense. I think that she's fighting better coming forward. And she got the gas tank. Tisha's got the gas tank. I think her kicks have gotten better. She hasn't slowed down. She's still fast, and she's got a ground game. She's got a better ground game than Angela Hill. I think Angela Hill, has got the hand speed, to contend with Tisha Torres. But when it comes down to it, I think Tisha Torres is much more well-rounded, for their level. I think I'm gonna go with Tisha, because Tisha, I think, beat her in the house. Tisha beat her in the tough house. Then she beat her the actual fight. They fought on a UFC card. So yeah, she's got the wins. Jason said when Miranda beats Barber, I will have her credit. I doubt you will, because what else does Macy Barber bring to the table that's going to give her a lot of trouble? That's what I want to know. Like Macy's a dangerous puncher, but what else is she bringing to the table that makes her such a difficult puzzle? Like if Miranda knows how to smother the power and she knows how to use angles, it will be an easy fight for her. I won't say easy, but it'll be a good night for her. The two beats. Any confirmation on Carla Rose, Lauren Valentine? Not yet. You know, is Zhang Wei Li training? I don't know. I don't know if she might sneak in and get the rematch. So no confirmation. Valentina is out for what, 6 months? She'll probably be back in November or December, depending on when the suspension started. So nothing right now, two Bs. Lauren Murphy said she wanted to fight, but we'll see. Robert said Jason Rose looks for Thanos in fighters. He wants him to end the whole UFC. Basically, like he's not. He not looking at like. He not looking at overall MMA skill. Like he need to see. I don't know. Here you go. Look. I know purple belt and brown belt girls out smash Maverick up. Her grappling isn't that good, and I saw her striking from Verna Jandiroba last night. I saw better striking from Verna Jandiroba last night. Okay, so how is a brown belt and a purple belt going to smash Maverick? Like you got to have more than that. Like it's not about your belt. We just talked about that earlier. Like how are you going to base a purple belt or brown belt by beating a MMA fighter? It's not about your degree of belt. It's about how you execute it in the octagon. Now, if you tell me a fighter with submission wins in MMA, then we'll talk. If you talking about MMA fighter who's got a lot of submission wins, but you just talking about purple belts and brown belts and BJJ, that ain't gonna do nothing. How are they gonna smash Miranda? Are you just talking about jiu-jitsu? If that's all you're talking about, that ain't gonna work. Cause she's got the tools and the IQ to grow and make those adjustments in a fight. And you just proved my second point too, that Jandiroba striking is good. Well, if you saw better striking there, you got to admit Jandiroba striking is good. Colton said, could Lauren Murphy beat Andrade or Jennifer Maia? I think she could. Let me see before I answer that. Let me think. Lauren Murphy. I think she could beat. I think she could beat Andrade. Will she do it? I don't know. I don't know. Lauren Murphy has the size and she's got the size and she's got the skill set to beat Andrade. I don't know about Jennifer Maia though. That's gonna be close. Styles make fights, but I'm gonna say Lauren Murphy could beat Jessica Andrade because I think she's got the size to deal with it and the strength to deal with Andrade in the boxing. But Jennifer Maia, she's a little bit more. Jennifer Maia's a little bit more well-rounded. Yeah, Lauren Murphy could beat Andrade, but Jennifer Maia, I think that fight's close. That fight's 50-50, man. 2B said, will a black belt and Jillian Robertson had Maverick's back and got reversed? So I don't know. Right. We saw what happened with Jillian Robertson versus Maverick, and we saw what Taylor Santos also did. But see, that's my thing. Like, what are you comparing it to, Jason? Like, who said she's perfect? Like, who said she's great? Like, you haven't backed anything up you said all day. Like, all you said is she isn't that good. Like, tell me why. I mean, I could tell you why. I mean, I could tell you what weaknesses I see in her and the strengths I can see and why I give her credit for the level she's on. But you haven't backed anything up. All you said is she isn't that good, and that's it. You compare her to grapplers from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you can't really break down why she's not a good fighter. You can't even tell me, oh, well, her hand speed's not that good, her defense isn't that good. You're comparing her to Valentina again. That's why you're getting hurt. See, I see potential in a fighter. That's my problem. That's my thing. That's your problem. You don't see the potentials in fighters. Like, you're comparing her to Valentina, which is that's just not smart. Like, there's levels to this game. Compare her to everybody on the level she's on. There's a first tier, a second tier, and a third tier in this division, right? She shows promise out of her tier. But ain't even broke it down yet. So, I mean, I would like you to just tell me her weaknesses, and then I'll say, okay, I can agree with that. But other than that, all you say is she's not good. She's hype. You don't really come with facts, feelings. That's all it is. Robert Henry said Lauren Murphy gets smashed by Andrade. Maybe a few years ago she could win against her, but now I think Jessica's pressure will wear her down in the end. But it's possible. It's possible, yeah. Because this is Andrade's good weight. This is Andrade's good weight, where she's at. This is a good weight for her, and I think her power could be effective. Oh, you know what? It could be like Sijara Eubank fight. Like Sijara Eubank, she handled Lauren Murphy. That was a good fight. Sijara Eubank, she did pretty good against Lauren Murphy. So, hey, that's a possibility. But I still kind of like her chances better against Andrade than I do Jennifer Maia. I don't know why. Maybe I have to really, really, really go into it and look at it, though. Lolita had said, what fantasy fight? Jandiroba versus Lemos. Ooh. That's good, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I think I'm going to have to lean towards... I'm going to have to lean towards Lemos a little bit. I think Lemos' striking is much better than Jandiroba. Jandiroba's been better than the fighter she's been fighting, but when it comes to the striking of Lemos, her offense, her kicks, her right hand, her feints, she's been using some. I don't know if she's been working at the Mayweather gym, but she's been getting her striking together, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she's been down there, Mayweather gym. I know Jan Janan has, but she's been putting some boxing together and some good kicks. I think Lemos might get that fight. I'm going to have to go with Lemos on that one. Jason Rose said, if Jillian, hold on, let me laugh real quick. If Jillian got her hooks in, she'd have Maverick's back. Maverick was getting. Thank you, Jason. Instead of giving me weaknesses, you give me a what if scenario. if that's why I ain't gonna look. I was having fun. But I ain't even gonna acknowledge that anymore. I ain't even gonna acknowledge that no more because you talking about if. So we done with that. Lamos a little bit, but you never know. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, like right now I'm looking at Lamos because of the striking, but oh, man, when it get to the ground, you never know, man. I mean, Lamos, she choked out Miranda Granger. I mean, she put that choke on her and had her out. Amanda Lemos, she's 9-1-1. She's 5'4" with 65-inch reach. She got some good wins. You know, she got some decent wins too. Let me see. Yeah, she was the first fighter to stop Souza. She was the first fighter to stop Souza. That was a good win. And then the way she choked out Miranda Granger, that was good. Inoue, that was a good win for her. I actually had picked Inoue too to win that fight. That's where I was like, okay, this girl's the truth, because I was looking at her striking. You know, when I saw her striking, I was like, oh man, like she's on something right here. Like she got it. But no, that Liviana Souza fight, that was the one though. But I don't want to get too hyped up on it when I think about her striking. I don't know. It's 50-50 too, man. Like it's 50-50 right now because I really can't pick. I really can't pick in that one. I was much more comfortable saying Verna beats Murata, but Lemos, I don't know. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Lemos was out the game for like 2 years. Yeah, Lemos was out for a good 2 years because she got popped. And she was fighting at bantamweight. Yeah. Robot Chicken said, I think Verna beats Hill and Yan. I could see that. I could see that. I could see her beating Yan though, you know, because of the not just because of the ground game, but because of her striking too. I think she can hold her own. And yeah, when it get to the ground though, you can might as well say it's a wrap though, because that's how good Verna's ground game is. Like, you know, Verna. That's why I say Verna's not overrated, man. Like, Verna gets full credit for Murata because Murata is a good size, strong, fast strawweight. Yeah, man. Yep, yep. Let's see. I'm just kind of reading through your comments now because we talked about everything today. So, you know, we just do some Q&A here and just talk for a little while. You know, we'll be on for another, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, Robert. That's a good way to put it. She was out. She was hanging with, Juicy J, man. I was kind of mad, disappointed in her at that time. I was like, come on, 2 years. I mean, Lolita don't get that. Robert, Lolita don't get that analogy with code. Mary Thomas, what's up? What'd you think, Mary, of the Kanako Verna fight? Well, Lolita, it hasn't been updated yet. No, Robert Henry was hitting me with a code about her hanging out with Juicy J. Exactly. I was gonna let Robert explain that. I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, yep, yep. Uh, mm, 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 mm. What else we got going on? We got anything coming up this weekend though? Hold on. Yeah, Lamos versus Jandiroba, that would be a good fight. But like I was saying, Verna's still number 13. They haven't updated yet, so she might move up. I don't know. With Torres and Hill over her, and them fighting, it might change it. You know. Mm, 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 mm. Juicy J is a dude. Is a rap artist. He was from 3 6 Mafia. Old group, well, old now to me because that's where I grew up. So, yeah, yeah. Juicy J's a guy. DJ Paul and Juicy J. Yeah, 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 yeah. Juicy J's a guy. Let me see though. What is coming up this weekend? Let's see. June 26th. Okay. Mm-mm. Yeah. I just pulled it up. Yeah, Avila and Stoyarenko. Avila and Stoyarenko, and then we got Kayla Harrison and Cindy Danwar. Oh yeah. I hope Cindy can pull something off, man. Just you know, PFL 5. Yeah, they were, Mary. That's what I was saying. Like Robert Henry said that because it was a code for juicing. It was a code for juicing. I see some blows in that fight. Avila and Stoyarenko, I see a lot of punches being thrown in that fight, though, man. I see them going at it. I can see them two going at it for real. All right, so are there any? Okay, so Kayla Harrison and Cindy Danwall, then Pacheco and Kolesnik are on this card. Who else? Oh, Jenna Fabian, and Pagic. That's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight. Oh yeah, Godardo and Sanchez are on this card, and Caitlin Young and Marias. It's weird though. Like this tournament is weird. Like it seemed like the winners should be fighting the winners. This ain't like the Invicta Phoenix thing. I mean that's one night, but it seemed like the winners should be fighting the winners to me. I don't know. I think Jenna Fabian should be Janiyah Fabian. Fabian. Janiyah Fabian should be fighting Kayla Harrison. No, not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kayla Harrison. Caitlin Young should be fighting Taylor Godardo or Pacheco. That's weird though. Yeah, I don't get that. That's weird. Right? Why are the winners fighting the losers? Like they don't do that in the. I mean, Lindsey Van Zant, Jessica Del Boni, they beat everybody else, so it comes down to the winners fighting the winners in every fight. I don't understand that. I think that the losers should fight the losers so they can get like a reserve spot. So like put Pagic and Marias in there. Whoever wins that gets the gets gets a reserve spot. Excuse me, y'all. That's how I think it should work. I don't know. I don't understand that though. Not at all, man. And there we go again. I'll just go ahead and yeah. I told you that was the reason why. Look, Jason, my problem with Miranda. Look, my problem with Miranda is that youthful exuberance. She was very disrespectful to the OGs of the game. How? Because she said she'll one day fight Valentina. I knew it was that. I knew that's why. I was just waiting for you to say it. You just mad because she got confidence. And because you haven't seen that type of confidence in these fighters in a while. Her confidence ain't like these young fighters of today. That's the thing, Jason. Like, what you talking about is you blowing it up. That's all it is. You blowing it out of proportion. I knew that was the reason why. I was just waiting on it though. Don't worry, I'm gonna when I get her back on, we'll talk about all of that. We just gonna talk about how she's been criticized for, saying that she wants to end some fighters, you know what I mean? We'll talk about that though. I mean, she's putting in the work to back it up too. I mean she is, you know what I mean? So I don't get it. So like I said, it's not her work ethic and it ain't her skill sets you're mad at. You're mad at the fact that she wants to fight the best. I mean, that's okay though. I mean, some people just rub people the wrong way, and I mean, hey, I mean, there's fighters I don't really care for, but I give them their credit when it comes down to their skills. I give them the credit they deserve. But that's just me. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna watch this PFL card. I just think it's weird that the losers are fighting the winners, man. And that's my thing. Like nobody is used to what she's bringing to the table because she's talking like a smart fighter. She's bringing another level of smarts that y'all not used to. And y'all think that because she's saying she can beat somebody, I'm like, huh? That's part of the game. That's part of the game. Like you supposed to say, I'm gonna retire Roxanne. I'm gonna retire Jennifer Maya. I'm gonna retire Jessica I. It's not disrespectful. That's why she wants to fight them because she knows that they were considered top level at a point. So it's now time it's time to get them out. Yeah, I mean, for somebody you calling a dum dum, I mean, you already talked. She she about to graduate, man, with a PhD soon. So she's applying her outlook on her career to the fight game. With intelligence. But that's something I'm gonna talk about in another video, man. Like the new fighters have to fight the old fighters to see who really is the best and see what level they're on, man. You got to do that. I don't know. I mean, if that's the reason why you don't like her, I mean, that's a terrible reason, though. I mean, you know what I mean? That just don't make sense. Like, I think Joanna said crazier stuff in the past where I can understand why people don't like her. Joanna says disrespectful things where people don't like that type of style. Personally, I don't think Amanda Nunes really ever says anything too crazy. But there's people that don't like her. I mean, that's them. I mean, she's got a goal, just like she wants to graduate. You say you want to fight the best. I mean, if I say I want to graduate school, I mean, I know it's a long way away, but if you're like 2 years back, you still got to say, this is my goal. This is my end goal. Oh, oops. There we go. I don't know though, man. Like, PFL. Robot Chicken said PFL was a disaster last week. I didn't even watch it last week, man. I guess I didn't miss anything, right? Mm-hmm. But Jason is. Valentina's not concerned, but you are. Yeah, she's not. Look, Valentina, she's not concerned. That's why Valentina got my respect because she's ready to fight anybody. But it's it's you that are concerned and are hurt because somebody's calling her out, right? Oh man, yo, yeah, man. But a good show today. We talked about some good stuff, man. Definitely, man. Looking forward to seeing Verna Jandiroba. I want to see her come back and make some waves. I want to see Kanako come back stronger. What else? Casey O'Neill still got some work to do. Still got some work to do in there. People trying to say she's being overhyped. I mean, some cases she is. Like, I think there are, but definitely not me. You know, I think Casey O'Neill has a lot of work to do in the flyweight division, man. But yeah, let's see. Let me see. Definitely gonna check out this PFL this coming week. Let's see. Take this off. Yeah. And before I go, I'm gonna say this too. Is like, I think y'all just got it twisted. Like, y'all got to understand the difference between cockiness and confidence. Like, Macy Barber, she talks with a different tone and with a different approach than Miranda Maverick does. You know what I mean? Like, Macy is saying a lot of stuff, but still hasn't backed it up with her skill set. When you look at somebody like Miranda, she's working, putting the work in, and letting you know she has an end game. I mean, very obvious. You can't even compare the two. I think people let feelings blind the truth. Well, they do. You know, when you don't like somebody, you're just getting your feelings. You're going to blind the facts. Like me, I'm looking at the facts. Miranda's working. She's got a goal. Macy Barber, she's saying she's going to do this, but the opposite's happening, right? Because she's not backing it up with the work. 2 + 2 = 4, right? Makes sense, right? I mean, how else do you need that explained? Again, Macy Barber, she's saying one thing, but she's getting the opposite results because the work's not there, right? Miranda's getting her results because she's working. So she can talk because she can talk because she's backing it up. Pretty simple, right? Again, it's simple if you don't get blinded by feelings. You know, you're gonna get emotional. That's what I'm saying. Like, not that hard. Yeah, man. But anyways, y'all, it's about time to get up out of here. Get up out a little earlier tonight. Usually we only here about 2 hours, but got some stuff to take care of. So hold on before I go. Murata said what? Oh, Murata's injury. Okay. I mean, I might have to do a video on that too because it's like, I mean, it all comes down to fans. I know fans are emotional, but you know, I'm looking at the fights. I'm looking at the fighters. I'm looking at what makes sense. Like, if you're a fan of the overall sport, your feelings aren't gonna get hurt. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm gonna take my hat off to fighters that are doing the work. They respect the sport. But if you're the type of person to get mad at what somebody says, you really shouldn't be watching MMA. You know, like you really shouldn't watch MMA if fighters are gonna make you mad off of what they say, because everybody knows that the actions speak louder than words, and it comes down to the hands. The hands are gonna get you to what you want. 2B said Miranda is a perfect example of people hearing what they want to hear and running with it rather than listening to what it is said. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Like whenever Miranda mentioned Valentina's name, everybody said, "Oh, I don't like her anymore. She talking crazy." They were like, "Oh, I don't like her anymore." They was like, she mentioned my queen." You know what I mean? Like everybody like started, "Oh, she mentioned my queen. Now I can't like Miranda. She's talking trash. She's talking reckless." Which was why I was like, "Come on, man. The girl got confidence. She's got to go." Like if Manon Firo said it, I wouldn't care. You know, Joanna challenged Valentina for the flyweight belt, and she thought she could win. I didn't care. I know that's a different level, but come on, man. Like, yeah, what are we talking about? It's crazy. Lolia said this guy got all upset with me because I mentioned Verna and Nunez. Verna versus Nunez. He called me all kinds of names because how could a man fight a strawweight? Huh? Crazy, huh? Oh, see, Roberts. I'm gonna stay acting like I'm mad. Yeah, keep acting like you're mad. I mean, As long as I know you're not mad. I mean, the fight game's a way to escape for me. Like, I can't watch it mad. Like, I like it too much. Like, I mean, I get disappointed in fighters when they don't commit, but you know what it is. Like, I'm never mad watching fights. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, I agree, Marcus. That's how I am. Like, if you ain't got to work, then you can't fight for the title. But if you got a goal, see, nobody ever listen. Like Miranda, her goal said 2 years. Maybe 2 years makes sense. 2 years. She didn't say tomorrow or the next day or 2 months from now. She said 2 years. She put a time stamp on it. She was like 2 years. That's all. But let me see. Final questions before I get up out of here. Colton said, "How could Arujo get it if she could keep up? How far could Arujo get if she could keep up the high pace she does in round one for the whole fight?" Oh man, I think Arujo would be dangerous, man. Like Arujo, if she could become a 5 round, 3 round fighter, if she had a gas tank, she would be a hell of a lot more dangerous. She could be a hell of a lot more dangerous, man. Definitely, definitely, yeah. Arujo could be dangerous, man. Right, two beats. I heard that. Like, there's a lot of interviews I had to go back and do videos about because people didn't hear certain things. You know what I mean? Like, I had to go back and explain and clarify certain interviews. Like Zhang Wei Li's Mike Tyson comments. That was twisted up. This Miranda Maverick thing where she mentioned Valentina's name got twisted up. It didn't even get twisted. She said it clear. She didn't need no translator. She was saying it clear, and people ignored what she said. People get used to just hearing what they want instead of the facts. That's the problem. Like, I had to go back and break that thing down, man. With Zhang Wei Li, I was like, yo, they twisted her words, man. And now with Miranda, I was like, yo, what y'all mad about? People were doing videos saying, I don't like her anymore. I'm jumping off the train. All because she mentioned one name. But y'all missed the one key thing. Oh, Robert Henry, Julia Avila, your girl Julia Avila's fighting Stoya Ranko. And that's it for the UFC. The PFL card Thursday. Kayla Harrison and Cindy Danois. Yeah, so you tune into that, Robert. I know that's your girl Avila. Jason Rose win maybe like in another 2 weeks. Probably like another 2 weeks. I will. It depends because I've been busy. I'm gonna be out of town like pretty soon too. So yeah, it depends. It depends. Yeah, probably like 2 weeks. I will. To be said, if we could do a top 5 best chances against Valentina and Rose, what names would you put in there? Maybe I'll do a video on that. Two B's. Cause I can't name off top. Yeah, I agree with that, man. If Arujo, if fights were 1 round, Arujo would be champion because she always have a good first round or a good second round, but she always got a good first round though, man. Like majority of the time, she's good in that first round. Like you don't know, like when she was fighting Valentina, she started off fast, and you like boom, 1 round, she done. But yeah, that's something I got to think about. 5 best chances against Valentina and Rose. Like Rose would be easier. I could come up with 5 for Rose, but Valentina, I don't know. I can't even come up with 1, 2 beats. I'm thinking two. Valentina, like, wait a minute, who got a chance against Valentina? I don't know. Marcus said if Valentina wasn't around anymore, who would most likely get the belt? Andrade. Yeah, Andrade. Yeah, Jessica Andrade, and I think Jessica Andrade would be next in line for that belt. If Valentina wasn't around, Andrade would get that belt. If you were going by the way the rankings are right now, I would definitely say Jessica Andrade. Yeah, because the next one in line would be Caitlyn, and Andrade destroyed her with a body shot in 1 round. So yeah, yeah, Jason. Manon is talented. Yeah, she's very talented. Her skill sets need to be tested against the better fighters. That's how good she looks. Like Manon Fiorot is different than the other ones because I say her skill sets are better than most because of the way they look. But we need to put them in there with the Andrea Lees and so on. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Definitely, like Manon's talented. I don't see the same things I see her and Miranda, but they both got something going for them. Lolita said Andrade over Manon. Ooh, if Manon fought her way to the top, mm, I might have to say Manon Fiorot because she's got the style and she's got the size and she's got the knockout power. She's got the footwork. I'm gonna say if Valentina wasn't around, Andrade was champion, Manon fought her way up, I think Manon would win. To be said, if you ask Lauren, she'll tell you no one has the resume she has. I appreciate her confidence. Yeah, I appreciate her confidence, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Andrade. Yeah, even Caitlyn. Yeah, even Caitlyn Chikagian. I could see Caitlyn having that belt, maybe even for like a couple title defenses. But then when Andrade comes around, Andrade will get it, and then Andrade will have it for maybe like 4. Or Jennifer Maia. I don't know. Jennifer Maia. You could throw her name in there. Taylor Santos versus Manon for 2nd and 3rd spot in the flyweight division. That's a good fight. See, that's what I'm talking about, Jason. Like, Macy says stuff like that. She says, I'm going to be the youngest champion. It's things like that Macy says is different than Miranda. That's different. Like, that is, I don't want to say it's crazy talk, but you're jumping too far ahead. Like, that's the type of talk that it's too early to say you'll be the youngest champion because you got a lot of work to do. And I like her attitude. I like her fight. She's exciting, but there's some other work that needs to be done with Macy, man. To be said, would it be a stretch to say Valentina flyweight division is the most competitive? Valentina-less, it would be more competitive. I think the strawweight division is still the most competitive, but if Valentina wasn't there, it would probably be more so competitive because, yeah, it probably would. Because right now, I can't really call some of these fights and say, oh, Caitlyn going to win, Lauren going to win. Lauren's close decisions, I don't know. Jason said, I want you to break down how Miranda Maverick is going to be. I can break down how she could be. I mean, if you go the right direction that she continues to go, I could tell you how she possibly could be. but I can't tell you how she is going to be because that's not nothing's definitive, man. She's got a possibility to go for that belt, you know. There's a great I mean, there's a possibility that she could fight for the title. Now, I don't know. Like, I can't say is going to be. Never said she was going to be. You won't catch me talking reckless, Jason. You know that. Jason trying to catch me talking reckless or something. I ain't talking reckless, man. Yeah, I'm gonna just tell you the real and the facts, man. Because what she's doing now is going to have to be multiplied so much more when you get into that top 10 and when you get to that belt, man. But yeah, y'all gave y'all a little bit more time here. We almost at the 2-hour mark. I'm about to get up out of here. Yeah, that's a video coming. Who 5 opponents that could give Rose and Valentina trouble? I got to think about that, man. But shout out to 2 Beats for that suggestion. But yeah, shout out to the chat, everybody that came in. You know, had some good conversation in here once again. Shout out to everybody up in here. You know, that's what I like to do. I just like to talk fights, man. I don't care if we argue or disagree. You know, that's what it's about, man. You know, and not everybody gonna agree with me, and I ain't gonna agree with everybody. You know, so I like to have these conversations. I got Maverick flying knee Barber just rushing with no technique or a left hand. I think she could land a good left hand on Barber. Tatiana, that's my girl though, man. I can't, don't get started on Tatiana. Tatiana is the truth too now. You know, you trying to put me between rocking a hard place now with Miranda and Tatiana. You know, Tatiana is the truth, man. I can't. That's my girl. Andrade would have been strawweight champion for years if her striking was better. Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, her striking. If her striking was on point, she would be Tyson right now in the division. She'd be Tyson in there, and she would be killing them, because nobody would pack that type of power or got that chin to handle her, man. Like, I gotta do a video on Andrade, just like, let's rebuild her as a perfect fighter, man. Like, what she has and what she needs. I mean, it's, she's already been there and done that, but we got to talk about that. But yeah, y'all, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Mary, Mr. Lee, Robert, Jason, 2 Beasts, Robot, Chicken Wings, Lolita, and Marcus, my man Marcus Bell, and Colton, of course. Who else I'm missing? I think I named everybody. Everybody who's always, leaving comments. But of course, all y'all. But yeah, those are some videos I'll probably work on, but I gotta upload some stuff right now. I'm gonna upload these post-fight analysis videos, just straight to the point and how I felt about the fights. So yeah, y'all, let me wrap up my weekend here. Gotta get back to work tomorrow. But y'all have a good night, and I'm about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming through. We'll be back. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe.